eyes on me when I run. Stacking wins, I'm never done. On the field, I'm number one. Pressure.
Welcome to the Man Utd stream. Hope you're doing well. What a weekend it's been. What a weekend of Premier League football have we've seen. I mean, you know why I'm smiling, don't you? You know why I'm smiling. It's all to do with Liverpool, isn't it? Mo Salah, the fallout, Liverpool drawing 3-3. Leeds United getting that last-minute equaliser. Look, the only excitement and enjoyment I'm getting right now is watching the rest of the teams failing in the Premier League. That's the only reason why I'm happy. If it comes to United, I'm not happy with what they're doing on the pitch. I'm not happy with their performances, but I am happy watching the demise of all the other clubs around us. It's lovely to watch teams just crumbling. And Liverpool, well, it's even better, isn't it? As a Man United fan, watching them take a lead against Leeds, and you're thinking, right, okay, they're just gonna they're gonna get their final win. They're gonna get a win, and they're gonna enjoy this moment. And finally, they're back on track. And then boom, 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 absolutely lovely to watch. And then the Mo Salah fallout afterwards. Well, we'll come to that anyway. We've got lots to discuss in today's show. So much has gone on. It feels like it's been 2 weeks since we last spoke. But I last spoke on a live stream on Friday. I did a video yesterday. It feels like though so much has happened since I last spoke to everybody. And we talked about, you know, the fallout of the game against West Ham. Friday was, I must admit, a very difficult time for me. It was just awful. Awful to get up the next morning after not winning against West Ham, and the fallout, you know what was coming, the inquest as to what has happened with United. Why have they failed once again to hold out a lead? Why haven't they seen it through? And obviously the fingers were pointed at Ruben Amorim, pointed at the players, pointed at Ineos, but who was really at fault? Now that the dust has settled, we kind of have an idea, and you've probably clicked on the thumbnail as well, knowing full well what we're going to discuss today. And it's breaking news. It is breaking news. It's news that's been reported widely this afternoon, and it's to do with players at Man United dictating everything. Things have not changed, guys. Unfortunately, it's as it was under the old regime. So we're going to be discussing what this news is, why it's important for United and the club. The club is the most important thing. Look, when I'm talking about United, we're talking about the manager, we're talking about the board, but overall, the club is the most important thing that everyone has to care about, whether you're a manager, whether you're a player, whether you are the bloody owner. Don't give a crap. You still have a duty towards the club. Whether you're a glazer, looking at taking all the money out of Man United, don't care. It's all to do with the club. And if the club is not going in the right direction, you as the owners need to be on your bikes. Thank you very much. Off you go. You're no longer needed. You're no longer needed. You are the problem. Ineos, Jim Ratcliffe, you are the problem. You need to be out, because clearly you have not benefited the club. You've not benefited the fans. No one's happy with you guys. Nobody. And it looks like what you're saying to us is settle down, nothing's going to change. That's what you're saying. January transfer window, nothing's going to change. But anyway, there's so much to discuss in today's show, but I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. Of course, we've got the games, a game against Wolves tomorrow night. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it. The reason why I'm not looking forward to it is because I'm worried. I'm worried what happened against Everton. You know, these late night kickoffs are not going in our favour right now. They're not looking like, the players are half asleep. I don't know whether it's past their bedtime. That's what I'm thinking it might be. I think that it must be that they like playing early morning or afternoon football, and as soon as it goes past 5 o'clock or something, they're tired and they don't really want to go out there in the cold and play. So our players just simply want to put their hands up and do nothing. They don't want to do anything. That's what the problem is. We've got a set of players in this squad who are like, oh, it's a bit cold, we don't want to go out there. Can we just kind of jog around a little bit, pretend we're playing, but pretend we are looking like we want the win, but really are not interested? I think that's what it's like. I think that's what I look at it and think, these players, they don't really fancy playing out in the cold weather at night. They're maybe scared of the dark. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we need to return to a daylight football for this team to actually start cooking again. Because I can't think of any excuses. I'm out of it. I'm absolutely out of excuses. The only thing that's keeping me going and keeping me smiling is the demise of other clubs around us. The downfall of Liverpool. It keeps me going. I mean, I was like, look, business as usual. They're winning against Leeds. I didn't even bother looking. I didn't even bother watching the game. Didn't bother. I went out. I just went out. I went out. Didn't even care to look at my phone because I just didn't want to know what the final scoreline was going to be. And then, boom. I came back and I thought, right, let me check whether it was still 3. I think when I first checked it was about 3-0 or something here, and I thought, right, okay, that is over, or 3-1. I can't remember what it was, but then when I came back and checked the scoreline, and then in the evening, the absolute bombshell of an interview by Mo Salah. I mean, that was crazy. He's off, isn't he? He's off. January, he's off. I cannot see Mo Salah staying at Liverpool after that interview. They're not going to get rid of Arne Slot. They've essentially publicly backed him already. They've already said we're not going to get rid of Arne Slot. And Arne Slot will argue that it's Mo Salah who's causing the problem. But is it really? I mean, it's not Liverpool that haven't been scoring much goals. It's the other way around, isn't it? It's the defence, isn't it? But anyway, I don't want to talk about Liverpool all show. I might touch on it throughout the show because it's enjoyable, isn't it? It's enjoyable. Let me go to the chat. Let me see who's logged in, who's clocked in, and then we will head over to the crux of today's show, which is player power at United and how it's destroying the managers and everybody around the club. It's not good. It's not good, guys. It's something that we knew, but we thought it was sorted out under Ruben Amorim. We thought under Ruben Amorim, the player power situation was put to bed, but it apparently hasn't. Apparently it's still going on, and we will discuss that in detail. But let me just go over to the chat, see who it is. Jim, welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've enjoyed your weekend of festive football, shall we call it? Or is it too early to call it festive football? But Premier League football. Rob, hope you're doing well. Nish, hope you're doing well, enjoying your weekend. Everyone who's just live watching, make sure you hit the like if you want to. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you to hit the like. And if you're not a subscriber, I think it's advisable that you hit that subscribe button. If you don't want to hit it, it's fine again, but I think you might want to. You might want to, because we love talking football on this channel, and if you're remotely interested in football, you'd want to hit that subscribe button. Anyway, Jim, how you doing? The Arsenal Liverpool fans lost their heads was very funny. Oh, I forgot all about Arsenal as well. Oh my God, I've been concentrating so much about Liverpool, I forgot everything about Arsenal losing to that amazing last-minute goal. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, up until that point, I must admit, I was still in the dumps. I was still very much thinking, oh, do you know what? I'm not enjoying this football this weekend. We've lost the chance to go up in the table and blah, blah, blah. And I was feeling sorry for myself and everybody who's connected to Man United, I must admit. But immediately, Arsenal losing 2-1 made me very, very happy. Aston Villa as well. Aston Villa, we're going to play them in a couple of weeks as well. So I'm not keen to face them any longer. But yes, they played well. They played well, Arsenal. I was saying it to you guys. Was I not saying it to you guys weeks ago? I said, I'm not putting my bets on Arsenal, and you shouldn't either. Arsenal are a bottle job. They're classic. They're the best at bottling Premier League Premier League titles and the advantage they have over. And look, it's clear now. Man City, I think, what are they, 2 points behind Arsenal? It's going to turn into, well, they've lost the advantage, full stop. They've lost it. I mean, I cannot see Arsenal going and winning, but who knows? Who knows? Let's wait and see. Rob, hi there. Hope you're doing well. Evening all. Wonder who the football arrested last night was. Was there a footballer arrested last night? Well, I hope it's someone to do with Man United who can. Who needs to be arrested. They've been playing dreadful football. Like I said, it was criminal. They've been playing absolute dreadful football. So they need to be sorted out. They need to be having word with them. They need to be spoken with and be warned. Let me see. In London, a 29-year-old Manos not in Palace squad for today's game, but he's not. But not. Being named. All right, okay, maybe that's going to be an interesting one. Could it be Arsenal? Could it even be Arsenal? That'd be crazy. Gabriel, a big loss for Arsenal. Yeah, do you know when he went off injured, Gabriel? I said, look, Arsenal are going to struggle. This is their centre back pairing going to get destroyed. A couple of weeks ago when I was discussing Premier League clubs like that go on to win the Premier League, what you get, what you have. And there's always, if you go back to all the Premier League clubs that have always done well and won the league, they've always had two of a solid pairing, centre-back pairing that have gone throughout the season without any injuries. So yeah, Gabriel missing is a big negative for them. Niche, I've realised that even if we lose against Wolves, Amrin isn't going anywhere. He's going to be here for years. Title, UCL, forget it. From now on, we're going to be a team who are content with top 5. Well, and then Jim says Sammy Morkable suspicion of assault according to internet. All right, okay, I don't know. Anyway, coming back to Niche, your comment there about Amrin. I've heard this a couple of times this weekend, coming from a few people as well. There's quite a few people who've said this, and I agree with you. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. We can't sit here as well and hope that he is, because despite his current record, despite his current win rate, he's not been warned, he's not been told. The bars, there is no standard, is there? There's no standard. There is no bar set that, oh, look, he has to reach this to stay in his job. What he's done to Kobe Manu, what he's doing to other players that we think should be in the team and should be playing, is outrageous. I know, look, and this is coming from a Ruben Amrin man, by the way. So when Nish is making these comments and I'm agreeing with him, I'm agreeing from the point of view where I am a Ruben Amrin fan. I like Ruben Amrin, but I also like my club. I like Man United. So when it comes to fans who start having a go at certain fans saying, "Oh, you're not faithful to the club, and look at you not backing the manager and this and that," and all I have to say to people like that is, look, my overriding objective is Man United as a football club. I don't give a crap about any players. I don't give a crap about any owners. I don't give a crap about any managers. When it comes down to it, it's Man United and Man United only. That's my stance. Agree with it or don't agree with it. Whoever benefits the club, whether it's a manager, whether it's players, whether it's owners, I'm in their corner. I'm backing them. I'm backing them as far as I can until I feel that they're not backing or they're not benefiting the club. That's my position. And that might be controversial to some. Some might say, well, look, no, you can't really do that. But that's so when I'm criticising Ruben Amrin or any of the players, it's from that point of view. If suddenly Ruben Amrin changes things and says, well, look, do you know what? I'm going to go on a winning spree, and I'm not going to lose any games, and my win record's going to increase, then yeah, that's great. Then I will start backing him further. I'll be like, yeah, this is, I don't want to see. You have to be completely ludicrous to say I want to get rid of a manager who's winning everything. Of course, we are looking at the way we're looking at it as fans is we want United to be doing well. We want United to be winning everything. We don't want to be sat here wasting another season. No fan wants to do that. And I get a lot of fans come on and they do say, look, it's patience is the key, and they cite sometimes Sir Alex Ferguson's time at United and how it all started and blah blah blah. But I feel like that is a really weird comparison. You can't make the comparison between Sir Alex Ferguson in his era and United in this era and Ruben Amorim. Absolutely can't. And anyone who tries to do that comparison, I just simply stop them right there and say, look, you can't do that. You can't start comparing them two. You cannot. It was a different era, different time, different United. What we've got right now, where we've come from under Sir Alex Ferguson, what we've done, and what his win rate right now, Ruben Amorim's, is simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. And the fact that these fans or some fans can come out and back that win rate is problematic to me. Especially when Ruben Amorim himself would tell them fans that my win rate is not good enough. He himself would say my win rate is simply not good enough. And I can guarantee that. Look, that's why I probably like Ruben Amorim, because he is, one thing about him, he's honest when it comes to his self-reflection. Sometimes he's not honest, but, that's to do with players and things like that. But let's just leave that there for a moment. But anyway, let's go to the main story of today's show. Of course, it is to do with player power at United. Now, we've heard today reports that players, senior players, leadership players at United are dictating what's going on at the club. Once again, these rumours, we were told there's no such thing anymore. Ruben Amorim is in charge and that's it. But unfortunately, it seems like there's some players who are dictating things. From interviews, who's going to get interviews with players, who's not. Who they're talking about not giving and not speaking to any ex-players, any ex-Man United players, because they feel they're highly critical of them. Like, these guys are snowflakes, man. These players that we've got are such little kids. They're kids, man. They just can't take criticism. If they're playing bad, accept it. Put your hands up. Put your hands up and say, yeah, look, we've not been good enough. We've simply not played well enough. Why would you say, oh, I don't want to speak to him because he's nasty to me? He says horrible words to me. He says things like, I didn't run enough and I didn't work hard enough. Like, what? Like, seriously? Like, look, when I listen to Paul Scholes and the other ex-players, I find it refreshing. I find it refreshing because I get to hear an honest opinion from, an ex-player or a pundit or something. I don't want someone to gaslight me. If I'm watching United and they're useless, I want to be told, yes, they are useless. I don't want to be told, you're not watching the right game. They're brilliant. They're playing brilliant. The players are giving it their all. The players are not giving it their all, and we need to call that out. And this news coming out saying that the players are dictating who they give interviews to. They're dictating things like what gets done behind the scenes at United. There's lots of, obviously, that we're not aware of that goes on behind the scenes at United. And if the players are doing that, I think that does not bode well. It's not looking good. And we want a manager to be in charge, and only the manager. He's the one who should be saying, you're doing this, you're doing that, shut up, you're playing shit, you need to get your shit into order. That's what he needs to say. And that's what I want the manager to be doing. I don't want players to be dictating whether they're playing good or not. I don't want players to be saying, well, I'm playing good. I don't give a crap what anyone else thinks. No. You need to accept criticism. That's the only way you're going to improve. You can't just bury your head in sand and say, look, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything. I don't care whether this one or this one thinks I didn't play well enough. I believe I played well, and that's it. No wonder we're in the position we're in right now. We're not doing well enough. And again, it comes back to taking advantage of what's going on around the Premier League. Perfect opportunity keeps on arising and arising for United. Look, we've got to take advantage. We've got to go again. Monday night football. It's going to be a big one. We're going to do a watch along. Make sure you join us. It's going to be a great game. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Look, I'd hate to think what is going to happen if we lose against Wolves, but coming back to Nish's original comment that he made about Ruben Amorim not going anywhere, I believe he will not be going anywhere despite what happens on the pitch, at least for this season. And look, the funny thing is, I was sat there and I was thinking, well, the only way, he can't get any worse, can it? His record and the current state of United can't get any worse. So, of course, the only way is up for him. So, of course, if he stays another year, he's going to get better. United are going to get better. If he stays another 2 years, United are still going to get better. I can't see us getting any worse. His win rate is already at a point where you think, whoa, any other manager would have been sacked a long time ago. So clearly Ineos are not for turning, and they're going to stick with their man and give him all the time he needs to turn things around. But I personally think they've brought him in because they know that they can tell him to shut up and sit down when it comes to not bringing in the players that he wants or they need at United. Look at the current squad of United. Look at what we had on the bench on Thursday night. No manager in their right mind would accept that and then come out to the press knowing full well that the expectations of Man United are always to qualify for the Champions League, always to fight for the Premier League, and he's trying to justify things. Of course he's going to struggle. Of course he's going to struggle. Jim says, coming back to the chat, by the way, here, guys, Fulham goal disallowed. It's 1-1 going on at the moment. Oh, yeah, Fulham currently playing. I think it's Crystal Palace, aren't they, they're playing against? Yeah, it's gonna be a big game. That I think yeah. Niche says, Travis realised now that it doesn't matter how, no longer top pay. We will no longer pay top wage. That means that no more top players, no more top honours. So Jim here to make the money. Yeah. So Jim Ratcliffe is another Glazer. I said it when we were talking about the takeover, and I said it back then. I said, look, this guy spells bad news for me. This guy is I don't know, just did not feel right to me. Did not feel right to me. I like Mbeumo Kuna, but they're not best in class. Now, I've made this point before, and I think I got a lot of criticism by a few people. I was on another show actually, and I said this point. I said, look, Mbeumo's brilliant. I think he's really, really good. And I said Akuna's really good. I like both of them. I love the signings. But are they the world's best in that position? Are they the very best in that position? Mbeumo, I'd still say he's up there. He's up there. He's really, really good. In fact, having watched him this season, I'd say he's in the Premier League. He's one of the best in that position. But I would still say we're not going after the very best players. Mbeumo had one or two clubs chasing him, but it wasn't like a bidding war, was it? It wasn't like, oh my God, all the clubs in Europe are after him and we're signing him. United haven't made that kind of signing in a long time. You'd have to go all the way back to Wayne Rooney, probably. I mean, I can't think of another signing we made after Wayne Rooney where you'd argue. I might be missing somebody crucially, by the way. So it's Sunday night and I've kind of switched off somewhat. So I might be missing somebody else that United have signed where they've had to compete against the very best clubs in Europe to get that signature. But if I'm looking back, I'm thinking Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney was that one signing that everybody was after, and United got in there and signed him. And look, we did that almost every season. Every summer, we would go out there, and if there was the very best player in the Premier League at that time, the very best striker or defender or whatever, or Cam, we'd go and sign him. But yeah, we're not going to be doing any of that anymore unless Qatar take over. Let's forget winning anything serious. Yeah, that's not happening, is it? It's not happening in a long time, because the bloody Glazers aren't letting us go, are they? They're still clinging on. They're still clinging on. They're still sucking at everything that they can out of the club. Big up Ryan. These players are seriously losers. No manager will succeed with these group of players and current regime. Ryan, spot on, mate. I can't agree with you more, because I've had a long, hard think about it. Right, okay, what Ruben Amorim's responsibility in this? Why do United screw up when he makes the substitutions? We have to accept Ruben Amorim is shit at man management, game management. He's shit at it. Yes, he will improve, but right now, you can see he's an inexperienced manager. You know, we went in for Ruben Amorim, and everyone put on their rose-tinted glasses, and they were like, wow, Ruben Amorim, the next big thing, and the next Pep, and this and that, and we all wanted it to work. Of course we did. We all saw what he was doing out there with Sporting, and we were like, brilliant, this guy is it, this is the one, get Ten Hag out, and I can see why some fans now want to stop that cycle and say, look, I'm sick and tired, and I am too, of bringing in another manager saying he's our saviour. Go and get, Glasner or Una Emery or whoever it is you fancy, and say, look, I want to bring him in. Because, yeah, it is like Stein all over again. And we did the same with Ruben Amorim when Ten Hag was here. We were like, right, we're sick of Ten Hag. Off he goes. His win rate's not good enough. It was, I think, in the 50s, by the way. It was in the 50s, and we were unhappy with that win rate. Currently, Ruben Amorim's win rate, I think, is at 30-something%. Right? Okay, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, we were talking about, how Ruben Amorim's going to come in and he's going to be the saviour. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out to that extent. He's good. He's good when it comes to off the field things, when it comes to press conferences and things like that. I think he's very good. Interviews, he comes across really well, says the right things at the right time. Great speaker. I think he'd make a great politician, actually. He'd make a great politician, and he is referred to by his fellow Portuguese as the poet, because he's so good at speaking. But who gives a shit about having a poet when we need a manager? We need a football manager, guys. We don't need a poet. We don't need someone who's going to talk the talk, but yet not be able to do what is necessary on the pitch, in the game, as it's going on. His substitutions, his way of changing the team around is awful. It's awful. I'll keep on saying it. And this is coming from a Ruben Amorim fan, guys. Okay, so do not take it as, he wants Ruben Amorim out. I don't want Ruben Amorim out to this extent. I mean, if things are not going to change, I want him out. Of course I do. But if he's willing to change things and say, accept his mistakes and say, look, okay, I need to work on this because I am inexperienced. I haven't got the experience to go and, look at the team and see who needs to come off and who needs to go on. Because we all see it. We all see it. Game in, game out. Which manager changes his back line every bloody game? He takes off the centre-backs. And I'm talking about, we were just talking about earlier, we were talking about Gabriel. I think, I can't remember who mentioned it. I think it was Rob who mentioned Gabriel going off for Arsenal. And I was saying, look how important it is to have a solid back line, two defenders, two centre-backs that know each other and they can play alongside each other throughout the Premier League. And that is really important when it comes to winning the Premier League. Yet this guy, our manager, believes, all right, look, it's nothing. Just take off the centre-back, just throw in another one, completely throw a ticking time bomb into the team. And, expect them to just gel, boom, in the 88th minute and expect nothing to change. Of course, it's not going to be easy. The defense has to be ready, has to be warmed up, has to be in the game, know exactly how the movement's taking place, and to throw in a new sub as a centre back, I think is just shows his lack of experience, in my opinion. That is my opinion, guys. You don't have to agree with it, but that's what I look at it and think. Look, you know what? Not good, not good. Let me go to the chat again. Pick up some comments here. Niche, we've never going to sign Anderson or Wharton. Rice is on 200k plus a week. They want the same. We're not going to win. Look, unfortunately, Niche, the more I read and more I kind of look into it and research what Ineos are planning to do, the more I'm concerned. And the reason being is Ineos aren't planning anything. Ineos don't want to spend. Ineos don't feel like the team needs investment. They are hoping that Ruben Amorim just sits where he is and continues doing what he's doing. And let me put you into a secret here. Ineos, behind closed doors, are saying that if United get above 15th, so if they come top 10, that shows improvement. That's what they've said. I mean, actually, we heard Jim Ratcliffe say the same a couple of months ago, or even more than a couple of months ago, maybe, where he said, look, we finished 15th. We want to see improvement. So if we can show improvement this year, that's fine. It's a long-term project. It's a long-term project. It's going to take years. Hence why we're giving Ruben Amorim 3 years to get his stuff together, and we're going to give him that time. I personally think they're giving themselves 3 years. That's what they're doing. They're giving themselves 3 years. They don't want to put down enormous amounts of money right now. They're hoping somehow something comes good. We suddenly, hit on one of the best players in the world, and we suddenly become a team that's to be reckoned with. That's what they're hoping for in that 3 years. And yeah, they're hoping that Ruben Amorim turns into another Pep. That's, make what you want of that as well. Rob says, Mbeumo, Kuna are good signings. I'm sure they will get better. Yeah, I mean, look, the new signings, I'm really happy with, Rob. I love every single one of them. I really do. I couldn't even speak highly of them. Kuna, I like his just demeanour on the pitch. I like the fact that he gives us something defensively as well as attack. So he's a good all-round player. And Mbeumo goes without saying. Very, very good. Who else do we sign? Sally Lemons, again, very good. Sesko, unfortunately, we've not seen the best of him so far, but I still believe Sesko will come good. I think he's just got the natural ability, and he's got the physique to play well in the Premier League. So if he clicks, I think everything for United could change. Nish says, yeah, it was Wayne Rooney in reality. I'll bet we lose to Wolves. I'm deadly serious. No, I can't see that happening, man. I can't. I mean, no way. Surely not. Nish says the 1958, we had to get out and protest. The ownership needs to be changed. The new stadium never going to be built under Ineos. If it does, our debt is going to be astronomical. Really good point there, Nish. Really good point. And the reason being is because I agree with the rebuilding or the new stadium, or building of the new stadium. If they fund it with further debt, we are shafted. We are shafted as a club. It's all over. The dream of having a new owner come in and take over after knowing that there's a debt of like what? 10, not 10, you'd say 3, say it costs about $3 billion to build the new stadium. You're talking about 5 billion in debt as a club, and a new owner's coming in and they're saying, well, yeah, you've got to buy the club, and then you've also got to take on this debt. it's probably over. It's over. I can't see that. I can't see we getting out of it. I can't. Yeah. So it's gonna be a huge problem for us. Huge problem. Rob says we should have bought a prime centre back in the summer along with many other positions. We have to do something in Jan. Yeah, this is it. We have to do something in Jan. If every single fan I speak to says the same thing. Now, what I don't want fans to forget what they're saying right now. Because you know what, as fans, we do, don't we? We forget what we say. So right now, every fan I speak to, even those who are, happy with what's currently going on and still saying, look, patience is key. We need to give Ruben Amorim time and everything else. Even they are saying to me, yeah, but it's very important that we go in January and sign some very good players, a centre back, a midfielder, and possibly another striker to back up Sesko. 3 major signings, 3 very big signings, 3 signings that we can't give up on in January transfer window. Now, what happens after January transfer window if we don't sign any of those players, or maybe sign a bit player in, maybe a midfielder who's cheap as chips, and we've kind of bought him, and he doesn't really do the job either. He's a bit like Ugarte, kind of like, yeah, he comes in, really doesn't provide us with any depth, doesn't really do what Casemiro does. So we're back to square one again. We've just wasted that money. But Ineos have done it because they want to keep everyone stomp. And then these same fans who are saying no, we're heading in the right direction, will forget they even mentioned that we should be signing players. So I agree with you, Rob. We do. It's the importance of going out there and signing new players is absolutely fundamental to our success going forward in this season. And let's be honest, having looked around, having seen what's going on in the Premier League, I mean, this is it. This is our chance. This is that chance we've been waiting for. I mean, we're not going to get an opportunity like this. And the rest will be history if we qualify for the Champions League. If we qualify for the Champions League, that huge amount of influx of money that comes in revenue, we can go and sign at least 2 players, or if not 1 top player in the summer with that, just with that money alone. And then there's obviously extra revenue that comes in from playing the Champions League games and things like that. So it could be a lot more. It could be a lot more. So yeah, it's very important that we go and do that. We just need to make sure that we keep a lid on these players, because right from the opening of this show tonight, I said, look, these players cannot have the power to overrule any manager decision or anybody else's decisions. We need to get these players to actually start behaving like players, and they're not used to it. They're not used to it because for many years they've been given the reins to the club. What we're doing on the pitch has been dictated by these players, these senior players like Bruno Fernandes, like Dalot, like Maguire, like Luke Shaw. These players that have been there under several different managers, but have survived the cut. They have survived the cut, guys. But when you're starting afresh, what do? Do you kind of wipe the slate clean, or do you say, I'm just gonna wipe bits of the slate clean, but I'll leave others in there? But that's not a clean slate, and you're always going to be wondering who really is the problem. Who is the real problem? And I was watching a video on Ruben Amorim at the end of the game against West Ham. He went onto the pitch and he just didn't shake any player's hands, and he just walked around. He looked lost. And I felt for him. I did. I thought, wow. So the players are even letting this guy down. The players are letting him down. He is adding fuel to the fire, I must add. He's not helping himself. But the players are the primary reason why we keep losing. And we have to put pressure on them and say, shut up. Shut up. Stop acting like snowflakes. Stop acting like you're being bullied and you don't want to speak to ex-Man United fans who remind you of our glory days, who remind you where we've come from, who remind you the club that you're playing for, who remind you of the jersey that you're wearing, the badge that you're representing. That's why you do not want to speak to them. That's why you want to hide away, because you know you're in the wrong. That's it for today's show, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Of course, make sure you are with us tomorrow night in the watch along. It's going to be a big one, of course. Niche says, let's finish off with Niche comment. Niche says, if we lose to Wolves and Amrin stays, then you know he's here for 5 years minimum. We have to boycott the games. Look, Niche, without a doubt, I think if his win rate does not improve, the noises are going to get louder and louder, and fans who have been on his side, including me, will eventually give up. Will eventually have to give up, and we'll all have to say, well, look, enough's enough. Enough is enough. His win rate isn't good enough. But anyway, Niche, thank you for all your comments. Thank you for joining me. Like always, mate. Always appreciate your input. Jim, of course, honoured to have you here. Like always helping, moderating. And Rob, again, thank you. And everybody else who's commented, everyone who's watched along and joined in today's show. Make sure you hit the like on your way out and hit that subscribe if you've not already done so. You're watching the Man United Stream channel, a channel by the fans for the fans.